how to report discrimination in your PWI. I can't tell you how many messages I've got for people that send me things like, yo, so-and-so at my job said this, made me super uncomfortable, but I don't know if I should report it. I don't know, how to report it. Let me tell you something. I'm the queen of reporting people. I will report the shit out of you. I don't give a fuck. And like I said before when I was talking about choosing your battles, I think a lot of us are sometimes so used to just putting our head down and letting shit slide because that's how we get through our fucking lives without being shot in the fucking face. Sometimes we just have to let shit slide. But I got to a point in my life, I used to let shit slide all the time, but I got to a point in my life that was like, yo, I don't need to be letting shit slide. I deserve to be here. I deserve respect. I worked my fucking ass off to be here, bitch. You ain't paying my bill, so I'm not gonna let this shit slide. So, you know what? I am the queen of reporting people. I report the shit out of you. Again, you do kind of have to choose your battles because unfortunately it's still a predominantly white institution, so they may not take you seriously if it's not something they deem serious. So this is where these steps that I'm going to tell you come in. Please get a piece of paper and write this shit down because, bitch, let me tell you, I know how to work these predominantly white systems to the fucking know the policies. Know the fucking company policies. If there is nothing else that you remember from those stupid ass orientations that they give you, remember the policies on how to report any type of discrimination, harassment, whatever it is. Know it, know who to contact, know the procedures, know what kind of shit they want to need, know the appeal process, know everything. Know it. And if you don't know, if you don't remember it from the orientation, go talk to HR and get it. Go look at your little handbook or whatever the fuck it is. It's probably on the website. But know the policies. It's really important to know the policies because if you don't do it by the policy rules, your shit's gonna get thrown. Secondly, save everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. As soon as you get that one email from that one person that isn't quite racist yet, but it just kind of made you go, save it. Because you never fucking know. You just don't know. Because when shit hits the fan, you want to have a long ass record of this bullshit. Bitch, when I tell you, when I went to report this motherfucker, I had at least fucking 24 emails. I printed that whole shit out. Printed it and was like, here you go. Can't say nothing because it's right fucking here. It's right here. Every word from every fucking person on this chain is right here. You can't deny it. It's right there. It has the date and time it was sent. It has the fucking subject line. Ain't nothing changed. It's right there. You can't fucking deny it. It's right there. It's in your face. So save everything. Which brings me to my next thing is if it's not necessarily a physical form of communication, keep a tape recorder on you. Pretty much every phone now has some sort of a recording device. So if there's somebody who's like physically coming up and talking to you or making really inappropriate comments or whatever it is, record them. Now, one thing I will say about being recorded is make sure you look up the recording laws in your state because I know some states it'll get tossed out if the person isn't aware that being recorded. In some states they don't give a fuck. That you don't need to tell them that they're being recorded. But either way, if you can use it, great. If you can't, you can't. But I would definitely just, if there's somebody who's seriously making you uncomfortable, even if you just bring it to HR and you can't necessarily use it in court or whatever, and it just helps a lot. Just basically have all the fucking evidence that you can. The next thing is to get support from other people in your PWI. I can guarantee you if you are the victim of this discrimination, there's somebody else who's gone through it too, but they're also not saying anything because they don't feel comfortable speaking up, and they're also just letting it slide by. I guarantee you there's somebody else. So whatever way that you feel comfortable kind of addressing this or trying to flush out the people who are also victims, especially if you're going to be the first person to kind of make that step and be like, yo, I'm not going to let this shit slide anymore. I guarantee you somebody else is going to pop up like, oh, yeah, this happened to me too. Here are all the emails that they sent to me. The more support you have to back up your story and your claims, it's just more evidence that they can't ignore because it's not just you who's coming to them. There's several other people. Even if it's not even necessarily people who need to like testify or whatever, if you start a fucking petition and even get every fucking person's signature in the office, it helps a lot. Trust me, I've done the petitions too. It helps. The more people you can get to support you, the better. Don't be afraid to submit it to HR. You know, that's their job is to deal with this shit. And if they fire you, you can fucking sue the company because you can't be fired for being a fucking victim. You can't. So, bitch, you gonna win either way. Submit it to HR. Submit it to. I'm a little bit drastic. I'll go to the fucking highest person if I have to. I will also submit it to HR. But bitch, I'm going to the fucking presidents. I'm going to the fucking trustees. I don't give a fuck. Like, yes, follow the policies, but if it's not the result that you want, take it up to the next person. Don't let this shit slide. The last thing I really want to point out about this is be prepared to be disappointed. Because at the end of the day, this is a predominantly white institution. There are a lot of times that I have reported people, like blatantly racist people, especially if you're on a campus and it's a teacher. They're on these tenured contracts, and a lot of times, even if the school wants to fire them, they can't. This has happened to me a lot. Um, Even if you have all the support, even if you had 600 fucking signatures and all this fucking evidence, um, they may not be able to do anything about it at that time. But it's good to bring it to their attention because at the end of that contract, they don't have to rehire that person. So be prepared to be disappointed. You may not win every battle, but at least you fought the battle and at least you brought it to their attention, because if this keeps happening, whether you win the battle or not, if this keeps happening and people keep reporting it, eventually they're not going to be able just to ignore this shit anymore. Hell, bring it to the fucking news if you want to. I don't care. But again, just be prepared to be disappointed.